You know, say, we're just getting set for our second game here tonight. We'll see MABOUYA Valley get in the All Black, coming up against GROS, get in the Sky Blue. It's all about the Semi-Professional Football League, head St. Lucia for the year of 2025. This is our second year. Shout out to our people in office. Our CEO, Francis Barry. Sir, Francis Barry Daniel. You know, Francis Barry Daniel. You know yourself, man. Antonio Central, you know yourself. Osman Jerry, you know yourself. Sherry Aguilera, you know yourself. Yes, of course, sir.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we want to present to you Francis Babalassi. So he's just going to walk across to the middle stage. Francis, are you there? Just walk to the middle stage. We want, is he close by? Babalassi. He's not there yet? Okay, so we'll bring him on shortly. Alright, no problem. So you want to meet him. The stadium is named after him. So let's all stand while they're coming in. As the team take the ring in and Babalassi is taking his name, please stand everybody. Let's honor our team, our two teams, and Francis Babalassi that the stadium was named after.
Can we please stand to acknowledge the national anthem of St. Lucia? So sit back, relax, and enjoy our second game event. Don't forget it. We'll be there for the entire month. So make no mistake about it. Yes, we will continue here for the entire month. Just keep your eyes focused as you to your gadgets to find out more about the Semi-Professional Football League for 2025.
Good evening once again, and this time we're coming to you from the freshly named Francis Babalastic Mini Stadium in GROS. A fantastic launch ceremony, naming ceremony just transpired. But of course, we are here for the football, and no better way to commemorate the new naming of the mini stadium than to have the man himself, Francis Babalastic, marshal his GROS troops against MABOUYA Valley. Elijah Williams in your company alongside the critic, Tennyson Glasgow.
Basically, Eli, we are moving in time. Earlier on, we were at the GROS playing field. Now we have advanced in time, and now we're at the Francis Babalastic Mini Stadium. And no better way to open the grounds with the onset of the home team, GROS. They're up against one of the teams who have had a good run in terms of competition, and I say so. And here's an early strike from GROS. MABOUYA able to block. But if ever a team to open a stadium with its MABOUYA Valley, rich in history and on a very good run this campaign.
Okay, let's just see if we can quickly get you through the team news. For MABOUYA Valley, still in goal, Daisy Joseph, ever present, Kayan Mondesi, Chovan Louisi, Govan Serbans Xavier, Karim Matthew. They make up the back four. In the midfield, Nathaniel Noel, Brandon Sandiford, and Claudio Joseph. And Kanye Sandiford is back up top, and he's flanked by Maya Stanislas, who returns to the starting lineup, and Ethan Okuli. Tej Pascal is still unavailable for MABOUYA Valley. For GROS, Giovanni de Turville, ever present in goal, will be looking to recover from his last debacle. Scored an own goal down in Vieux, but he has the experience to make a comeback from that. Brandon Eugene, Sebastian Rebo, O'Neill Toussaint, and Stanley Cherry, they make up the back four. Ahead of them in the midfield is Jade Richard, Jalil Evans, and Raphael Joseph. And in the front line, Riedel Stanislas. Baggio Edward in his second match back. And up front, Troy Greenidge returns to the starting lineup. GROS will also be buoyed by the presence of Eden Eve Charles on the bench. He's returned from a long-term injury suffered almost a year ago now, if not a year. And Aramis Gilbert, he also makes the bench for GROS alongside Melvin Aurelia.
So we can clearly say that the home team GROS is at full strength, knowing fully well you have Aramis on the bench, Eve as well. Of course, you have the youngster who are the experts out in the UK. Also, I still believe that the influential player for the GROS team will be Jalil Evans, or probably it could be the youngster. Well, not youngster, I could call him a veteran to a certain extent, from Denry. I think those two are going to be the ones to be the telling factor in this encounter.
Of course, GROS will want to steady the ship. They've been a bit rocky in the early goings of the Semi-Pro Football League. Grosley known as a swashbuckling team that takes the attack to the opposition, and MABOUYA Valley. Brandon Sandiford there making inroads into the midfield just at the top of the 18-yard box and striking one there at the goal of Giovanni Di Turville.
Yeah, interesting enough, you mentioned Tej Pascal unavailable. I made some inquiry as per what's going on with Tej. Apparently, he suffered an injury on his job, his 9 to 5. And as a result of that, he has attended 2 training sessions, and the coaching staff from MABOUYA not deem him fit per se in terms of his real ability. So hence the reason why he's out. But Tej Pascal certainly will miss with his influential play, whether it be on defense or his exploits in going forward.
This one starting already in a very frenetic pace. MABOUYA Valley sitting in second position on the table, 11 points from their 5 matches with 3 wins and 2 draws, one of 2 unbeaten teams in this. Oh my, Stanislas there. Back after suffering a nasty injury down in V4 a few weeks ago. For strike from
Clearly, MABOUYA Valley showing their approach in this game. I mean, of course, you're up against a team who are not too impressed with their record so far of Grosley. But this time around, Grosley is at home. And with all the exploits of the opening ceremony and all the big bashment and the VIP and all this big pronouncement, there's a lot weighing on what Grosley has brought to the occasion. But there is something, Eli, in sports where you say, play the game and not the occasion.
Yeah, well, MABOUYA Valley has demonstrated that they are forced to be reckoned with within their first 5 games. Grosley will be disappointed. Only 1 win from their first 5 with 2 draws and 2 defeats. So that's where them looking to steady the ship comes into play. But they'll be buoyed by the return of Eve Charles, his charismatic figure on the bench for them. And of course, Troy Greenidge coming back into the starting lineup. Also is going to provide maybe the attacking thrust, the attacking impetus that they need to satisfy the home crowd who will be hungry for a victory.
Yeah, I like it. I like the atmosphere. Of course, the parliamentary representative playing his role as well in naming several individuals out of Grosley, not only in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I think every facet of persons who have left a mark on the community in terms of sport was recognized. This is a very good gesture. I think probably a first of its kind, but very well for the Minister of Sports to do so. But meanwhile, as I say so, we see Grosley in possession. But again, the MABOUYA team showing good resilience, having a sort of not a high press, but a medium press, Eli, to a certain extent, not allowing Grosley to sit and be comfortable. Ball played through the middle. Goalkeeper, of course, claiming stake communication between him and his back line. Attempted flat volley pass. Here is Troy for the attempt. Goalkeeper making amends for his error. Of course, the crowd is always responsive. The crowd, certainly, Eli, is a northern sector crowd. Because, you know, Grosley is a big community. So we can't really pinpoint and say just Grosley, because Grosley stems from the Shock Bridge all the way up to Cap Estate.
It's definitely the largest constituency in terms of numbers. Not sure about terms of area, but definitely in terms of numbers. why there's always talk of splitting the constituency, manage the numbers. But one thing we know for sure, the vast majority of those numbers, they love their football. And anytime this Grosile team is on show, particularly in Grosile, they come out in numbers, as we've seen this evening. They didn't just come for the show, they came for the football as well.
There's an attempt there by MABOUYA Valley, blocked by the defense of Grosile. I don't think for all the campaign, for all the season, I've seen Grosile so up to it. I mean, we have seen games where they have, held their own or not, the result not go their way. But this time around, they seem really revved up for the occasion.
Yeah, there'll be some extra motivation. I mean, the stadium that you are playing in, just to rename after your head coach, you don't want to disappoint him there.
Good tackle there by
Definitely be
MABOUYA.
some extra motivation on the part of the Grosile players. There'll be some extra motivation on the part of the Grosile fans to spur their team on as well. MABOUYA, nothing to snooze on. They've been very good this season.
Yeah, good possession, good intricate passing there by Grosile. Rydell Stanislas trying to get on to the end of this one. I don't know if you realize, Eli, but Rydell is playing more of a central role this time around. Some of the tactics that the Grosile technical staff may have just employed.
Yeah, I think that is to more or less accommodate the return of Badjo Edward. Badjo Edward plays off of the flank. Jalil Evans, who has been a standout player, occupies the other flank. So Stanislas shifted into a more of an attacking midfield position, showing his versatility as well, a national player himself. So see how it works out. I think you're going to see a lot of interchanging of players, though.
Yeah, here's an attempt there by Grosile, the attacker. Clearly you can see he's not a left-footed. I think it's, his name eludes me right now, but he normally plays on the flank as well.
Is that the number 20?
Is the officer?
That's Jade Richard.
Yes. May have just, snapped at it a bit. But he's not a left-footer, so it's going to be difficult for him.
Because this Grosile team has had their ups and downs. We've seen the likes of Sebastian Rebo deployed in midfield, the likes of Aramis Gilbert are deployed in the forward line. But this team looks a lot more balanced. They look poised to give MABOUYA Valley a good run out this evening.
Yeah, but so far, MABOUYA has been under the cosh. I mean, I don't think they have had a situation where they have got into the final third. But again, this game is so fun. Here's a telling pass onto the right side. Here's a cross. Here's a chance. And again, good defense by Grosile. The right back able to sniff out the shot. And Giovanni able to make a comfortable save.
Ironically, although I agree that MABOUYA is a little bit under pressure, Giovanni has made more saves. They've had more shots on target.
Yeah, but the saves have not been,
testing.
Yeah, to bring out the best out of Giovanni. They have just been, routine saves. So I wouldn't take much into it. But again, MABOUYA Valley didn't get to where they are on the table by mistake. And just as I say, by mistake, a mistake by Giovanni, which gives possession to MABOUYA Valley. MABOUYA Valley keeps control of the football.
Well, they are a Dennery team, and as I said a little earlier on in the first encounter, Dennery teams tend to shoot once they get a clear sight of goal. Didn't work in Dennery's favor against Central Castries. I think Central Castries read the script, but you could already see that this MABOUYA Valley team, as long as they're within shooting range, or what they consider shooting range, because most teams I know will not try to kick the ball from 35 yards out.
Yeah.
But this MABOUYA team, that's ingrained in their culture.
So it's something on the East Coast. As a matter of fact, Prado, as is affectionately known, is the skipper for tonight for the GROS team, and he's been out of position, playing in a central role. Should be very interesting how he fends, because normally I know he takes it down the flank and brings you inside and puts in either a shot or a good cross, so it should be very interesting. Servants, of course, experience, known to be a left back, but this time, for this campaign, employed as a centre back for MABOUYA Valley. Getting the better of his opponent, showing some experience there.
Very good, eh?
Yeah. Because you see, Eli, as you progress, that's why we always relate and say that football is life. So, for example, I'll use you as an example. You started off at Bank of St. Lucia, and now you could hold your own throughout every spectrum of sports. So similar for football, you start off as a certain position, but as you grow older, with maturity, you become more adaptable and you can play various positions. So basically, I could turn off my mic and just let you run the whole show for the night.
Oh, please don't do that. You know, they say two heads are better than one. Right, so
a lot of credit has to be given to Stubbins, you know. To juggle being an entertainer and to be a footballer is a lot, but he has been handling it very admirably.
We are starting to get into this game a little bit here. Critic down the flank, Ethan Okule, youngster, 17 years old, I believe he is. Ethan.
If it's one thing I like about football, Eli, there is no script. So there was a script for the opening ceremony. You heard the minister read out all his scripts. But the game in itself, there's no script. So which means that, who knows, MABOUYA Valley could spoil the script.
Well, if we have to go on current form, MABOUYA Valley will be walking away with at least a share of the spoils, if not all. But again, as you said, there's no script.
We see Ryder standing just trying to break down the left side of attack. Bad pass right there, interception for MABOUYA Valley. Attempting of a through ball, two central defenders being trumped and intercepting. I like the pace of the game, Eli. If you realize that nobody basically has time on the football, teams are really getting at each other. That's how vital the 3 points are.
Yeah, quite a bit of direct play as well. Not that they are bypassing the midfield, but the passes through the midfield are pretty quick. You know, we just saw Giovanni Di Turville throw the ball out to Riddell Stanislas, and within a few seconds he was at the edge of the MABOUYA Valley box. As we see a foray in there, offside flag up. You could hear the home crowd in the background. They're ready, all fired up, ready to go, ready to cheer.
Yeah, massive anticipation, something to come. That's what we want. We want the fans to be involved. We know the home crowd, of course, is basically made up of Grosilians. Is that a word? Grosilians?
Let's go with Jagozile.
All right, cool. Jagozile. But Grosilians is invented tonight, and it can stick. You can use it conveniently. Jalil Evans making his way up the left flank. Poor pass by him, just going outside. Young Jalil has the skill set to turn the game around. Grew up not too far from the playing field, as a matter of fact, just beyond the northern goal behind, thereabout. So Jalil will be quite familiar with his surroundings.
Yeah, and taking a look at the team there, looks like Baggio. Edward is pretty central. Jelly Evans dribbling clear across the pitch there. Not really finding a pass.
Yeah, he's a left footer. And he carried across. The defender did pretty well, sending him to his right side and able to get a shot off. But again, like I said, he's quite familiar with shooting down this area. I remember him as a youngster, always taking shots towards this end. So let's see how young Jalil fends in this encounter.
It's always good when you take note of the youngsters from very early and you can see their pathway, their growth. I was about to make a point just a little while ago that there's a lot of movement in the front four of GROS. Troy Greenidge, Jalil Evans, Baggio Edward, and Rita Stanislas. They've been all over the pitch, which I think is going to provide some sort of difficulty for the MABOUYA Valley rear guard. Defenders generally like to be able to mark somebody, not just mark space. So look out for that and see how that impacts the match going forward.
Yeah, very good observation, Eli. Of course, defenders don't like players moving all about them. They love players just within the area to mark in their space. Well, anytime you can have a situation where you can have centre-backs coming out of the comfort zone, it spells trouble. So very good observation, Eli. Now, Eli, there's a little area of the grounds that we haven't given much attention. And there seems to be a nice little crowd build-up. I don't know how you want to call it, but I will call them under the Tamawe tree. I don't know the official name of that little section, but I always know back in the days of how the grounds used to be, that this is where persons would seek shade and get dressed under the old field.
There was some level of seating there.
Yeah, but they have a nice little build-up there, and they seem to be the most disciplined area of the grounds, because we can hear noise from the covered stands, VIP, the bleachers.
I think I'll call it the traditional stands.
Yes. Although I'd prefer to call it the Tamawe.
Yeah, I like that name.
Yeah, the Tamawe stands because, interesting strike there by MABOUYA Valley from way out against Eli. Always said that on the East Coast, when those guys get the opportunity to shoot, they will shoot. But the Tamawe stands, I want you all to big up yourself.
I think they heard you.
Yeah, they're really, real disciplined bunch down there.
You know what's fascinating to me, Tennyson, is that there are quite a few patrons at the grounds who are actually following the live feed and the commentary on their phones while watching the game live.
You serious? So you hear live, but you're still checking the live feed?
I don't know how possible it is for you to watch a live game and watch a feed as well.
What a time to be alive, eh?
Yeah, but I see what you did there.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I think probably for the commentary factor, or probably if the feed is delayed a bit, you can catch on what you missed out on. But it's all well and good. We appreciate it.
For the replays as well.
Yes, we appreciate it.
To get a second view of some of the.
So now, Eli, we have a very interesting free kick. And I've often said that many times that GROS get a free kick, within this sort of area, we see Rebo behind the football. Now, Rebo is gifted with power. But I always challenge Rebo to show me the craft. Hence the reason why I think he's not going to take the kick this time. Let's not these guys. I think it's going to be Rydell Stanislas to take that free kick.
He's got a beauty down in
that similar area in VF4.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that he's one. But I'm not doubting Rebo. Rebo has the power. But in practice, I want Rebo to be more crafty and show me that he can hit different parts of the football with his power. Because power alone will not get you to score free kicks. Now we see about 3 players. I see Troy joining. But of course, we know that's a...
Yeah, Troy's not...
No, that's not him at all. That's not him at all.
You know, when you spoke about power and accuracy, Juninho came to mind.
That's the master.
One of those players that
That's the
has
master.
that perfect blend of
That's the
power
master.
and accuracy.
What battles me, or Juninho with all his exploits as a free kick taker. Played for Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough,
I've seen a few top players. You know,
Mendieta was there as well,
in
but
their time, you know.
you get a guy like Juninho to play for Middlesbrough? Whoever broke this deal, it's like the guy who broke the deal for Ceremonial. Again, the wall playing his part. The goalkeeper, of course, is flattened. But I'm just saying, like, as an entertainer or as a player, sometimes you need a very good manager or a very good agent. So kudos to Juninho's agent and kudos to Zayanomi's agent.
I'll stick to the football. Goalkeeper made a meal out of that one.
You know what I like about you? You just a friend. Yeah, man.
Never a dull moment with tennis in Glasgow around, guys. Never a dull moment.
Yeah, so it's a drop ball. Rosalie, of course, they retain possession. But I like the energy of the game. I like the way, the momentum, the pace, the rhythm that Rosalie is playing at. They're at home. And you could see clearly with the commissioning of the new ground and all the theatrics that has taken place, they really want those 3 points. Because Rosalie is, to me, one of the top teams traditionally in football. And with all that being done to rehabilitate and all of that, they will need their rightful place on the table in the semi-pro competition for this year.
Yeah, well, the sort of fireworks that we saw during the interval, during the ceremony, I would think they would want to replicate that in front of their home fans. See if they could put one or two past this MABOUYA Valley team, who've been pretty stout defensively and pretty potent in attack themselves. But so far, you'd have to say that Rosalie has had slightly the better of the game.
Yes, I would say so. Of course, they haven't got no clean-cut chances, but clearly, in terms of the pace that they're at, the tempo that they're at, you could see that they're trying to unrattle the defense of MABOUYA Valley. MABOUYA Valley, in their own right, have shown why they are on the table, because they're very resolute in defense, and despite Rosalie trying to make some half chances, they've been able to deal with it.
Raphael Joseph there handling the press pretty well. Rosalie finding their way out of trouble at high press by MABOUYA Valley.
Jalil Evans being fouled. I think Jalil Evans is the most. There are two players that I think that are the most foul players in the league. Jalil Evans and Buju for Leclerc.
Yeah.
Once those two players get on the football and they play a similar role and similar style as well, they use the outside of the left foot, so make it very difficult to get on to tackling them. I think those two are the most two tackle players in the league.
Interesting, and they're off. Rosalie very nonchalantly just poked forward by Raphael Joseph, and Jalil Evans had the time. There was no reaction from the MABOUYA Valley defense to try to close that one down. And Daisy Joseph picks it out from the back of the MABOUYA Valley net. It's 1-0 to GROS at the newly renamed Francis Babalastic Mini Stadium.
Good technique by the youngster. I did make a mention that he's accustomed of shooting in this goal as a youngster. Majority of his shots growing up was to this end of the playing pitch. And again, he used his craft. Not much power, just the technique and able to squeeze past the goalkeeper. So Jalil, of course, will be very comfortable shooting at this angle, at this end of the pitch. And I'm going to say tonight, Eli, I may not be alive by then. I don't know. But 10 years from now, Jalil Evans will have a stand named after him at this facility.
It's a bold prediction. He definitely has the talent to do so. Nice little dummy there. Kanye Sandiford facing up his national teammate there in Sebastian Rebo. Nothing coming out of that one. Not for the first time, MABOUYA Valley has gone behind in a game. They went behind against Dennery in that East Coast derby. Came out victorious in that one. So they definitely know how to come from behind and make up points or take a share of the spoils. So by no means is this game going to be over. Still quite a bit of time as well. Just in the 30th minute here. But you have to say that this GROS team definitely buoyed by the occasion and hungry for 3 points. And with them scoring the first goal normally opens the floodgates. So let's see how this one will turn out.
Yeah, they're certainly up for it. Of course, you can hear the noise in the stands. They have the supporters behind them. They have a 12th man in the supporters. And again, knowing fully well the parliamentary rep, the coach, the naming of the ground. There's so much going for them. Harris Jolly trying to, let's clip this one across. So much going for GROS in terms of what has happened here at the facility. And no better time to score. We even have the fan of the year. The fan of the year hails from GROS as well, right? Abok, he's doing his stuff as well. So there's a lot happening in favor of GROS. We are about hitting what? Just off the 30-minute mark. 15 minutes in terms of they have to go. And here we see Jalil signaling for a corner. Ball comes across. Decent chance. Defended. Rebo in possession. Spreading to the left side. Richard spreading this one. There's a little too much purchase on this one. Should have done better just to pinpoint the accuracy. But it didn't work out. It's a goal kick for MABOUYA Valley. But I like what Jalil did. He went across to the bleachers because they are part of the action as well. And he was well received.
Don't forget with the little bit of rain that fell earlier. The surface is pretty slick. The Uzi.
Yeah.
The surface is pretty slick, so that makes for nice, free-flowing, passing football. Also makes for some crunching tackles as well, which just helps to up the ante in this contest. Ethan Okuli, oddly enough, passing up the opportunity to play with the under-20 national team and deciding to stay with his
community
MABOUYA Valley team. Maybe feels that his position with the MABOUYA Valley outfit is probably more guaranteed in terms of starts, in terms of appearances.
Yeah, I guess he must have weighed his options. And you know, everybody wants to play, so it's about sharing minutes. Would I be a substitute on the U20 team? Will I get my full potential with my community team? So he may have gone on the advice from individuals or in his camp, and he chose his community. Meantime, we have MABOUYA Valley a raid on the left side, but interception there by Tuse. Tuse, of course, who's known to be a left back, but with the makeshift of injuries and unavailability, has played a good role in centre back. Here's from the community of Canaries, but has played quite much for Grozile.
Yeah, right now, Grozile all over MABOUYA Valley, like a rash, you might want to say. I don't think MABOUYA Valley are quite rattled, but they're still trying to figure out how is it that they will make their inroads. Young Okule on there now and picks up a corner. Did very well to run that one down. Seeing the experience of Rida Stanislas there. Just getting his body between the ball and the player.
Yeah. Good experience there by Rydell. The player, of course, a little frustrated by the whole outcome. And now we see the referee. Just having some words with him. Calm down. Rydell as well. The whistle has blown. Just get into position and move on.
Yeah, Karim Matthew there, the number 15 for MABOUYA Valley, showing a little frustration and a little dissent. And there he goes again, marauding into a challenge and committing another foul. Signaling to the man in the middle that it was a shoulder barge, but he needs to be careful. He's bordering on picking up a caution. Renly Napoleon, the man in the middle. A lot of possession won and lost right now in the midfield. No team really putting their foot on the ball. Grozile will attempt to do that right now, playing it back to Giovanni de Turville. Starting from the back. Rebo.
Ball going all the way back to Giovanni. Taking no chances with this one, this kind of feel. We are able to retain, recover. Tusa coming across and intercepting, resulting in a corner for MABOUYA Valley. Can they execute to plan? Can they beat the first pole? A good response from the crowd as well, Eli. Clearly, it's a Northern-based crowd. A lot of applause whenever Grosile puts in a good effort. Production team, Doku. But hey, I'm on a tall tonight. Look like you're strong down the south. But in the north, you're Mickey Mouse. It's a long throw, which is going to be employed by MABOUYA Valley.
More concerning for Grosile is that Baggio Edward has been down for a little bit. Gets up a little gingerly. Had a stint with Fleetwood Town in the UK. I wouldn't necessarily call Baggio a great goal scorer, but a scorer of great goals. We saw that fantastic strike he had to down Leclerc in the opener of the very first
last season.
Tier 1 match. We saw his exploits in V4 as well. Scored a couple of brilliant goals. He was up there in the goal tallies. I think he scored a total of 5 goals for Grosile last season. For several pronouncements made by the parliamentary representative for Grosile earlier on and the Minister for Youth Development and Sports.
Big save there by Giovanni. Big save. Double big save. Giovanni showing his experience. We have just got a little touch in doing so. And again, showing the bravery to come out. Good pass as well from MABOUYA Valley, just getting over the defense. Player be able to run on. But Giovanni, who is small in frame, good height, but was able to spread himself like a spider. Once again, I say, Eli, like a spider.
This guy is really trying to draw me in tonight.
Not one of the favorite insects in this part of St. Lucia, but he did himself like a spider.
One thing I'm very good at recognizing is entrapment. I'm not getting caught up in this web. Definitely not getting caught up in this web. And I'm definitely not a water spout.
I like it. I like it. Let me tell you, you know one of your greatest exploits was the 5 years you did at Castries Comprehensive Secondary School.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. What house were you in?
Heronite.
Heronite. All right. So I see the connection. I'm an Oriole. So that's my sister house, it's called? Sister house?
Correct.
Sister house, yes.
Sister
so
house, yeah.
we're all right, man. Nice. There's always Oriole and Heron.
Well, the father of Oriole, Mr. Roland Branch, was also my neighbor.
There you go, in Castries.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, the geography, Mr. Branch.
That's correct.
May you continue to rest in peace. So I see the connection, man. Oh!
Good to see Maya Stanislas back on the pitch. Of course, MABOUYA missed his services for 2 fixtures, got injured, and a fortunate clash with the South Castries goalkeeper down in Vieux a few weeks ago. Should have had a go. That's one of the rare times a player had a little time on the ball and he didn't have a go.
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult because Eli, you basically have to have the mindset even before you receive the football. But clearly it was a situation that he wasn't prepared. And that being said, we have the whistle for the end of the first half. And Grosile lead 1-0. So clearly the fans of the Grosile teams will be happy about the result so far. And of course, we ask you to stick with us because they're going to remain right here at the Francis Babalastic Mini Stadium with second half action with the encounter Grosile versus MABOUYA Valley.
Stay far away, up. Liberty word up. Calling all the ISLET. Where all of the ISLET. We got too much on this stadium. Get to a too much. Really can't talk. What was I not talking? Really is down. Really can't talk. Everything is on. Who else on the end? On the end. Who is it? Who is it? Pull up. 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 Yeah. Pull up. Yeah. Who is it?
From a place how high, every place.
That's why I tell you, tweet somewhere else.
Back to live action at the newly named Francis Babalastic Mini Stadium in Grosile, aka Ghost Town. It's not a ghost town tonight. People are out in their numbers towards the second half action between Grosile and the MABOUYA Valley. Grosile leading by 1-0. Of course, that goal coming from the boots of Jalil Evans. MABOUYA Valley will be looking to try to make some inroads in this contest. Of course, MABOUYA Valley sits in second position in the table currently.
Of course, we, as Eli indicated, refurbish establishment. The MABOUYA team, nothing to be ashamed of. They continue to play football. We have a corner which is about to be taken by Jalil. Number 10 for Grosile. Number 10 is a big number. Number 10 is a playmaker. And then let's see if we can deliver on the spot. Sort of a rash shot by the number 8 for Grosile. Almost hitting Eli and myself in the gantry.
Very well pitched.
Yeah, we can see it all from our vantage point. Servants searching upfield. MABOUYA Valley is able to maintain possession, taking a run at the defense of Grosile. Spread out wide. Jalil again. Chip pass to Troy Greenwich. Troy, good control, but was fouled in the process. I don't know, it just down on me, Eli, that have you seen any persons of Indian descent play football? Is there anybody who's Indian who plays in the league?
I think there is, you know.
Which
I
team?
believe, is it Miku or they've got a defender who
Eli,
is...
you may have seen a West Indian.
That's an Indian. Depini Indian la, Ibo.
Yeah, Indian. Free kick from way out. Rebo, of course, behind this one. Let's see if he's gonna announce himself offensively. That is. Have you ever seen Rebo score a free kick?
No, I haven't, you know.
Yeah. That's why I place a lot of pressure on him to show us some craft from out there.
That one was very well struck, though.
Not a bad attempt. Not a bad attempt.
Swerving, dipping, bending.
Yeah,
and
not a bad attempt.
Daisy Joseph did well.
Marlon Daisy or Ryan Daisy?
Daisy Joseph. It's a different Daisy. This one is D-A-I-S-Y, not D-E-S-I-R.
All right.
Yes, sir.
The game is 1-0, courtesy Jalil Evans. From a very acute angle. Ball played up top. Rebo doing well just to fend off his opponent.
Offside flag. A little testy, a little feisty. Nice flick on there. Well read. Cleared away by MABOUYA Valley.
MABOUYA Valley needs to get control of the football, have more possession, put passes together, and see how they could come back in this game. Don't get drawn in by rash clearances, rash tackles. Keep focus. And who knows, they could get on the score sheet.
Needed that glancing blow
Yeah,
there.
good defensive header there.
Stanislas, Riddell Stanislas, that is, was about to put that one in from close range. Good work there by Servants to clear, get that one clear. And here's Sandiford this time. MABOUYA Valley under the cosh a little bit here.
A good defending overall by MABOUYA Valley. I think those balls are coming in, not even an instance to control. They keep coming with velocity. You know,
Fast
so it's
and furious.
Yes, very, very difficult to fend those balls off. But so MABOUYA Valley did very well.
And don't forget the slickness of the ball and the surface as well. So you could easily miskick one of those balls or get it wrong.
We often hear of the dew factor in the CPL. Clearly, tonight, based on the atmosphere and the weather conditions, there is a dew factor as well. So which gives the surface sort of a sheen, Eli. So it adds value when you make those passes. It's going to skip on the surface.
Oh! A melee there, didn't see who exactly. Looks like Raphael Joseph claiming that one for Grosile.
I think it was Troy who got onto the last part of it, because he's the one who's reacted the most. It looks like Troy who reacted to the end of it. Yeah.
Troy Greenidge is the one.
Grosile making it 2-0. Again, Jalil Evans quite influenced in terms of his set plays, his corners. It was an in-swinger.
Yeah, goal and
fell
assist for
right
him now.
within the area.
Yeah.
And Troy may have just got a little nick onto it, making it 2-0 for the home team. Again, the occasion is big. It's a big occasion for Grosile.
A little bit of a melee there. MABOUYA Valley trying to cry foul. But Renly Napoleon was not having any of that.
It's a big occasion. It's a big score. 2-0 in favor of the home team.
And we did say this is a Grosile team that has goals in them, that this team seems to be a lot more balanced than the teams we've seen previously.
Yeah, the defensive midfielder trying to get a shot in. He's quite a character himself. Had he scored, the place would erupt.
Grosile now have their tails up, critic.
Yeah.
Smelling blood in the water. Evans now facing up his man and looking to curl that one in off the post, and offside flag is up there. I want to see a replay of that. A little bit of confusion in the back. I don't think the goalkeeper could have done anything about that one, critic. I don't think he could have done anything about that one. Went off the upright and back into play.
Yeah, quite questionable, but however, the assistant referees deem Troy Greenidge offside. But I like the response of the crowd, which means they're clearly in tune with the game and they're out to see some goals, and the home team have pleased them so far. Again, Jalil.
Yeah, not able to
causing mayhem when he touches the football.
Not able to get a conclusive angle on that replay there. But we heard the shouts there of the home support. They definitely did not think that there was any offside shout there.
Yeah, my boss.
I just realized something there. Tell what people do. Bring it to back for you. Good shit.
Again, we see the goalkeeper for Grosile making himself a spider. Again, Eli.
I'm not getting caught in that web, critic.
But the occasion has certainly lived up to the expectation. Of course, we would have heard so much of the opening of the facility or the refurbishment of the facility. It's a big occasion for Grosile because history has been made, and the scoreline in itself lends to the big occasion of what's happening right here at the Francis Babalastic Stadium. And Eli, anytime a St. Lucian crowd can give you that, they are pleased. They are pleased.
Well, the temperature definitely going up. Temperature definitely going up in the Francis Babalastic Mini Stadium. I almost said what it used to be. And the temperature is definitely going up in the broadcast area as we now joined with the parliamentary representative for Grosile, the Minister for Youth Development and Sports, Jacques Grosile himself, the Honorable Kenton Joel Bebe Kazmir.
The full name, full government name. Good night, Eli. Good night. Good night, Tennyson. Always a pleasure to be with you guys. How's it going?
Well, from a footballing perspective, it's been fantastic. We've had 2-0 score lines. Well, thus far it's 2-0. I would anticipate that you would be hoping that your home team will be able to notch up a few more goals.
Absolutely. Well, as host, I said to the member for the MABOUYA Valley, Honorable Sean Edward, that we were not going to be too cantankerous. We were just going to score 2 and be good hosts to them. So they've lived up to the scoreline that I've requested from Rosile FC.
Are you suggesting that you were giving an education to the education minister?
Absolutely, and the education minister is still there, enjoying the game, enjoying the facility. Of course, we'll be doing some upgrades to the lights at the MABOUYA Valley football field. Of course, we've cordoned off the area, so it's a mini stadium in terms of the facilities we've already built. All that's left to do is to work on the surface and drainage and bring in brand new LED lights to the MABOUYA Valley Football League. So another venue that will be ready, up and running for the next iteration of this tournament.
Yeah, well, last season was the inaugural season and Grosile missed out. But you know, they say good things come to those who wait. And I must say, from what I've seen, so far this has been the most impressive venue, barring the iconic Mindou Phillip Park, of course. But this has been the most impressive venue in terms of accommodations, in terms of comfort. And I did hear you say in your pronouncements that an additional stand would be built on the cemetery end to be named after John Eugene, was it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Deserving John Eugene, another legend from the constituency of Grosile, the community of Grosile. And this is the area he was actually born and raised in. And so it's only fitting, given his prowess as a cricketer, now as a coach with the St. Lucia Kings, and the work that he's doing with the High Performance Center, that he is truly deserving of that accolade, along with Alton Crafton, Elijah Joseph, and of course Francis Babalastic.
Yeah, I believe you also, I'm going off of my memory, I didn't take notes, but I think you mentioned the multipurpose court facility, Terry Verdant, will be named after this facility that we are in right now, which is the post office, will be refurbished into a sporting center, table tennis, other sports and will be available, a gym, and it will be named after Elijah Joseph.
Elijah Joseph,
correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another legend from Grosile.
Well, he's Elijah.
Of course, an individual that I grew up watching play in the midfield for Northern United. Very talented midfield player. I mean, the likes of which you would hear so many stories about in terms of his diminutive, figure, but still rising like a giant, in terms of his play. I think Critic would have enjoyed playing some matches against him. But he's somebody who's also an example. He's an example for the young people in terms of the way he's comported himself as a professional and as somebody who's reintegrated into the community.
Now I don't want you to give me the humble response. Mm-hmm. Because we all know you are a former national athlete yourself and a Jacques Grosile. Is there space on the wall for Minister Kazmir?
I said to my team, that is a decision they will make after after I've completed all the works that I have for Grosile. That is not something I would want to bestow upon myself. They read for me some of what I accomplished, and I was like, wow, that is pretty
impressive.
Good for somebody from Grosile as well. But that is something that my legacy, I think, is far from finished. There's a lot that I need to accomplish in the constituency for the young men and women of this community, and then we'll see what happens then.
Well, I think your resume already qualifies you to have a space there. So maybe if you're going to wait for your legacy to be complete, it may no longer be a space on the wall. You might have to build another facility.
Certainly hoping, because we've had a lot of conversation about football and cricket. For such a populous constituency, there's always an issue when you have cricket and football on the same venue. We know back in the day you used to have 6 months cricket, 6 months football. Anybody will tell you the modern game requires 12 months of investment, whether or not you take a few months to rest. But finding another facility within the community of Grosile town is very, very difficult, but they have to make it work for now until we get another facility in this area.
Oh, this facility commonly used as a training facility for international cricket matches, along with the Mindou Phillip Park. with the upgrades to the venue and the additional upgrades to come, can we look to this facility to gain some sort of international certification and see
Absolutely.
international level matches, football, an additional venue for football, and additional venue for cricket, international cricket to be played?
Absolutely. One of the first things I did as minister was we established a field maintenance policy, a field development policy, where we put standards for facilities, A, B, C, D standard facilities. So this right now, since we've cordoned it off, we've had some toilet facilities, sitting facilities embedded in it. We qualify as being a B standard facility. International level is an A facility like Darren Sami, and of course what we used to have at George Odom Stadium. The thrust is to continue the development of the stands on the other end, the development of this area, and to get to that level for international events.
You know, that's definitely good news, not just for the constituents of GROS, but for St. Lucia as well. I think there's a bit of a dearth sometimes in terms of the high quality standard venue, so I think that's going to be very welcome news. Of course, last year there was some upgrade works done on the Darren Sami cricket ground as well. New signage, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, the facility is outfitted to accommodate Wi-Fi connectivity throughout. New media center, you know. So a lot of work has been done so far under your tenure, and I think the last time we spoke I asked for a little bit of an upgrade on the aquatics center. Any additional word on that?
Well, this is the facility that I've been highly anticipating and waiting for. I think this is a legacy project. I think at the end of the day, with the works we've done, and of course we are about to, you know, get people out of the George Odom Stadium to re-establish that stadium. The aquatic center is what, I mean, really dear to me. This work here and the aquatic center, we have work ongoing. Sometimes I find a little bit slower than I would want it to be, but we continue to put the pressure on to see how quickly we can get this stadium up and running at the end of this year.
And just final question from me. We've seen moves being made to sort of more solidify a sports tourism sort of synergy between the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports. I mean, we know we've just recently hosted the CONCACAF and FIFA delegations. Of course, we've just had a OECS Boxing Championships. We're about to host the CAC, 52nd CAC Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships. Your vision, your thoughts going forward in terms of St. Lucia as a sporting hub, not necessarily just for competitive events, but also administrative and development stuff as well? We've definitely developed all the logistics that a small island need to present to global bodies, FIFA, CONCACAF, the Olympic movement. That option, St. Lucia is a viable option, not just for, in terms of facilities, the Darren Sami cricket grounds and that sort of thing to host events, but in terms of our capacity, our hotel capacity, the logistics of being in and out, sun, sea, enjoying just the ambience of being in St. Lucia. I think we have continued to work to ensure that we can raise our hand. Now we can proudly raise our hand to any organization in the world, the International Olympic Committee, the FIFA, to host events. And that is the thrust we've had since we've been in government, and we'll continue to do just that. Well, we have the fastest woman in the world, and she's going to prove that once again. Absolutely. In the next few days when she goes for her first World Championships. Of course, she's the back-to-back two-time Diamond League champion and Olympic champion. She'll be the Olympic champion for the next 3 odd years. Yeah. Bragging rights. We're trying to build on that. Definitely trying to build on that. Well, Mr. Minister, thanks for joining us. I don't know, I think you have more in your capacity of parliamentary representative, although I think there's some synergy because you've just renamed the sporting facility. But thank you very much. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much. All the best. Keep doing a good job. All the best to you.
Of course, we just heard Elijah with his conversation with Mr. Minister. Minister Kazmir, Honorable Minister of Sports, District Rep for GROS. And with on-field action, the score still remains 2-0 between the two. The host team, of course, doing pretty well. And as I say that, Jalil goes down. Will need some attention. But clearly, GROS living up to the billing. Of course, they haven't had the best of campaigns for this season. But a team in MABOUYA Valley who have done so well so far. GROS dishing it out to them. And we continue. Jalil up on his feet. Rebo to take the goal kick. Still a lot of time in the contest. We're just on to the 72nd minute of play. Loads of time still. Anything can happen, as they always say in terms of football. But if it's for control in this encounter thus far, GROS has full control. I think some of the passing has let down MABOUYA Valley. MABOUYA Valley known to be better with the passing. But somehow tonight they have been sort of erratic, not spot on. And GROS basically capitalizing on those situations. It's a big clearance there by Toussaint. Toussaint playing in a central defense role. Normally employed as a left back. But he's been able to hold himself.
Aramis Gilbert in for Jalil Evans. Suggests to me that we'll see Riddle Stanislas in his familiar wide area.
Very good interview, Eli. I think you touched several bases. That interview was like a baseball interview. First, second, third. Several bases, and of course you did hit the home run at the end.
That was the objective.
Good job, my brother.
Getting to first base only never cuts it.
That's right.
No pun intended.
You gotta go right. Very good interview, man. Here we see MABOUYA Valley trying to cover the situation. Rebo in the way, intercepts, passing to midfield.
I like the way that the players showed an appreciation that I was interviewing the minister and nothing eventful happened.
Yeah. Just, it's like as if they already knew.
Yeah.
But I like the shirt the minister is wearing. I think that shirt should be the uniform.
For the GROS team?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's a real nice shirt.
Shaky there. Very shaky there from Daisy Joseph in goal. Of course, we saw him not deal very well with a in-swinging corner from Jalil Evans that led to the second goal, and that looked like a ball he could have held, Critic, and
yes,
it was like almost in two minds whether to punch it or hold on to it.
But we must applaud the effort of Aramis, putting a little pressure onto him, thereby having him in doubts. Troy also played his part. As a matter of fact, it was a dreadlock situation. Troy, Aramis, and Stubbins. Yeah, like in the football. I know you're quite familiar with football, right? So
very much so.
Three of them. It's football.
Very much so.
Also, we must give credit to Rydell Stanislas, not playing in his familiar wing position, but many a times that he was called upon to play where he's playing, he delivered the right pass.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one thing to be a winger, but to come in and play in a central position takes a lot.
I like to think he's a footballer first. In this day and age of global football, the specialization comes later on in people's careers. You get an opportunity to play in different areas. Previously, you have a youngster being a goalkeeper from 12 and going up as a goalkeeper, or maybe a goalkeeper is not a good example, as it's a very specialized area. But in the outfield areas,
or like a defensive midfielder becoming a centre back.
Yeah.
Or right winger becoming a
fullback.
Wing, there you go. Yeah. It's a good trait to have.
I remember having a conversation with the assistant coach of La Clarion. One of the things he said to me was that they allow a lot of movement in the team, and the players have to understand that whatever position you find yourself in, you must perform the function of that position.
It's a very good point, Eli, because in football there's a function and there's a role. So you must understand the difference. And I remember back then, when there was not the internet, Mr. Arnold Clouden would cut out handouts from the encyclopedia to define what you just said. So for example, me being trained as a right back, he would tailor a definition or a handout, a cutout, and give it to me to understand my function and my role. And as you go along, you will spread all across the team, that when you get into certain situations, you can adapt. So that's a very good point, Eli.
But they had one in the put up. One in the put up, one in the 16, one in the 72, and that one now will make the 14.
Ram is
trying to get on the score sheet. I mean, of course, he hasn't played in a few. This is the second and 10-point goal. Not bad enough, not bad. But you can see the build-up. You can see the interplay between the two. He's a player. I have time for Remus Gilbert. He's a player. He's a good player.
Well, coming into the game right now is a player you will have a lot of time for making his return after a very lengthy injury spell, and I think the Grosile faithful will appreciate that. Looking at Eden Eve Charles, he's just about to make his return to this Grosile squad instead of Raphael Joseph. Raphael Joseph deputizing very well, and Eve back in after cruciate injury suffered in Soufrière just about the same time last year, then about. It's been about a year that he's been out. Of course, we spoke about Pernell Williams pulling the strings for Central Castries in the earlier game. This is a guy who pulls the strings for Grosile.
At one time, deemed St. Lucia best player, hands down. I mean, he had his spell, he had his reign, had spells over in Trinidad as well. So clearly, it's a youngster. I mean, he's sort of like I wouldn't call him a veteran just yet, but loads of experience, loads of talent as well. Clearly, you can see that he put on some weight, which is only natural. But he's now getting back into the into the flow of things, so that should be very interesting.
Seemed to have been a little bit of confusion between the officials. They're not too sure. Referee's assistant flag went up. Appeared to be an offside call. Referee waved that off and said play on. So not too sure exactly what he saw there. Renly Napoleon, widely touted as St. Lucia's best.
But there's another Randy. There's a Randy from Gozi there who used to be a goalkeeper.
Randy Polio.
What was his last name?
Randy Polio.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So Randy seems to be the one handling the logistics of the facility right now.
Correct.
I always felt that he retired too early, you know.
Retired because of injury.
Injury, okay.
Randy had a lingering shoulder injury.
All right.
Had it dislocated.
Yeah, he was a good goalkeeper, decent goalkeeper, brave goalkeeper.
National goalkeeper.
Yeah. So when you said Randy Polio, it hit me. I know that there is another Randy Polio.
From former teammate of mine at BOSL as well. Kept in goal for BOSL as well in the
Did he attend
in the
Leon
commercial
Hess?
league. Not too sure of his secondary school.
Okay. I think he supports Man U as well or Liverpool?
I'm
Liverpool.
not sure. I'm not sure.
He looks like a Liverpool.
What about him, critic? What about him?
Just his whole demeanor, his outlook.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks like a Liverpool. He looks like a Trent Arnold kind of guy. Yeah. I must find out. As we continue for our broadcast for the league, we must find out. But he looks like a Liverpool.
Definitely, somebody's always willing to assist and enjoys his job.
Yeah. See the same way you look like a Manchester United.
Why? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Everybody has what they resemble, you know. Yeah. I think we're about to wind down. Not much time left in the encounter. I think it's a game where Grozile from the onset control the tempo. MABOUYA Valley had their spells, but they would have needed more than that to deal with all what's happening around the football.
Yeah, for a split second, I thought you were about to speak about the soca artists that have not performed as yet when you said we're about to wind down.
You mean there are more artists to perform?
Well, I've seen more artists around. I don't think we've heard Ezra perform as yet. I've heard that Ricky T is in the building as well. So they're...
Aram is trying to battle his way through. The official having none of it, saying to play on. I've seen penalties given at that rate.
Well, that's why I'm not out there in the middle, critic. That's why I do commentary. All I can do is give my opinion. Luckily, I'm not tasked with making the decision. But like
block.
you, I've seen penalties given for less.
Big block.
Take a look at that. Is that oh no, it's the block there.
It's a corner now to MABOUYA Valley. Player seems to need some attention as well. Down in his own box. Giovanni Di Teville, big save.
And then it's a penalty called there. As a former player yourself, critic, let me ask a question. What was the difference between that collision there and what happened with
Aramis Gilbert?
Aramis Gilbert just a few moments ago?
There you go. So again, it boils down to the pace, the proximity. It all happened all at once. And the referee seems to be in a better position per se, whereas earlier on he was slightly just not really on that. But I see no difference.
I think that's a good explanation because of course these are subjective calls.
Yellow card's been dished out.
Well, MABOUYA being handed a lifeline here. We're in the 88th minute.
Something tells me Giovanni is going to save this penalty. Anybody agree with me in the production team? You think? All right.
Think they have their money on Sandiford.
All right.
They didn't even flinch, critic.
All right.
They have absolute confidence.
Yeah, that he's going to score. But I have confidence in Giovanni Di Teville at home. And the dressing room end will come up trumps. Good penalty.
Close but no cigar.
Yeah, he was very close. Very, very close.
I think he got fingertips to it.
Yeah, may have fingernail. Because he nailed it. It's a goal kick in favor of the home team. Score is 2-1. Could hear this little unwrestled noise in the crowd that Grosile not getting over the line just yet. Or can MABOUYA Valley late in the encounter get one in? Good take, Giovanni.
Still about 4.5 minutes of stoppage time. It's football. Anything can happen. Grosile would not want to have any sort of anticlimax They've been in control of this fixture for the majority of it. Led 2 goals to 0. And as we've seen in the past, on a dime, the game can change.
I think this is the last gasp situation for MABOUYA Valley. If they want to get on the score sheet, this free kick has to be perfect.
Well, Subans will definitely want to get himself involved.
Yeah, but number 20 as well could get involved. He's of no use there. You should get involved as well. He has no work to do there.
Definitely not what his team needed. Just about 3 minutes of indicated stoppage time to go. End of the first fixture, we saw 4 minutes, but it went on to 7. So let's just see what will happen here.
Now they indicate 5. It might go down to 8.
See?
Meantime, I see that the goalkeeper Giovanni is seeking some attention. Physio making her way.
Gamesmanship, you think? Or?
I think. And you could see Servants pushing up and saying, get on with it.
Well, you put yourself to suit yourself. So Grosile has put themselves in a position that suits them. Can't fault players for doing what they can do within the laws of the game.
I think all in all, a comfortable outing for patrons, spectators, football lovers at the Francis Babalastic. Is it Francis Babalastic grounds? Because there's a sign on the outside that says so.
It's grounds.
It says grounds. I don't think it's mini stadium.
Duly noted.
Wow, very interesting, Eli. Last minute save there by Giovanni.
What I was saying.
Had this gone in, that would have turned the whole tables.
Would have been disappointment.
Yeah.
Of course, MABOUYA, one of 2 teams that have not tasted defeat as yet. The other team being Leclerc, who are perfect 5 for 5, 100% record, scoring 15 and conceding 1. MABOUYA Valley with 3 wins and 2 draws in their 5 matches. And you have to feel this one is for all the marbles.
Good going there again by Giovanni Di Teville, showing his experience. Just powering his way through.
And that's the final whistle there, blown by Renly Napoleon. 2 goals to 1. What a way to set things off at the freshly renamed and launched Francis Babalastic grounds with a resounding, probably not, shouldn't say resounding, it's 2-1, it was a close victory, but resounding in my eyes because Grosile, I think, bossed the game from the majority of it. And of course, they are coached by the man himself, the man of the hour, Francis Babalastic. So 2-1. Elijah Williams, Tennyson Glasgow, saying adios for now.